Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm not gonna waste any time, so let me just quickly tell you what we're gonna do in today's video. First of all, red smoke. We're gonna add that in today's video. Every comment on the last video was asking for red smoke. I've been wanting to do it since the start of the project. It's time we finally do it, so that's the first thing we're gonna do in today's episode. Second thing is we're gonna fix this vent. I agree, it's still very boring. So I was thinking we're just gonna do the most cliche vent thing ever and just make it collapse, you know, when you're kind of partially in it, and it's gonna drop you down to a different room. I think we should add another room before this quick power thing. This sequence over here is gonna stay the same. I just feel like we should add something between the vent and this room to kind of extend it a little bit. Then what I also want to do is fix this area right here, because this is just a very basic layout of what I want it to be, but we're gonna add a bunch of pipes, details, all that type of stuff, and maybe also animate the other CatNap. So we already have this one animated. I didn't even really show this off in the last video. Yeah, this is basically what he does. So yeah, that's the plan for today's video. If you guys are excited for today's episode, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let's just jump straight into it. I first started following some tutorials on how to use Unreal Engine's Niagara system to create real-time simulated smoke. This ended up being way too complicated and performance heavy for what I was trying to achieve. It also didn't look anything like the red smoke present in the official game. Then I found another tutorial. They used a different system, but this looked a lot closer to what Mob achieved in Chapter 3. It also wasn't performance heavy, and it looked really good in my opinion, so I decided to settle on this. So yeah, this is what our red smoke looks like. I think that looks actually really good. So let's put it into our main map. So does it work the best if I copy this? Because I'm assuming generating too many of these particles can definitely impact performance. Let's just do this right now, because I am loving the way this is looking.
5 minutes later.
Okay, let's see how that looks with the lights turned off. Oh yeah, that looks cool. This looks really cool. I love this. It's really bright, but yeah, this is 1000% the effect that I'm going for. This is way better. Oh, fuck yeah. I did not just get jump scared by my own creation. Dude, that actually jump scared me. He has no business scaring me as hard like that. What the shit? And so far in performance, I'm not noticing anything in terms of like performance going down. So I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but for what it is, it's very good. So I think with that, we can finally check the red smoke off the list. I honestly was kind of scared of working on this because I thought like I never really had worked with particle systems before, so I kind of wasn't really looking forward to making this, but it actually wasn't too bad, and it actually looks very nice with the amount of effort that I actually put into it. This was like 20 minutes. Well, I personally really like how all this looks, so I think quickly, before we move on to this area over here, I want to show you guys quickly what I did in this vent over here. At the time of recording this video, it is April 12th. In 6 days, my favorite game of all time, Portal 2, is officially turning 15 years old on the 18th. And I thought, you know, to pay homage to a fairly influential game for the gaming industry, I thought to just build this little room under the vent. So if you pay attention, you can look under this. There's this room with a turret, the portal gun, companion cube, and the radio. And then these two lights are supposed to represent the two glows that come from the orange and the blue portal. So yeah, that's that. Other than that, there's not really anything interesting to show. I mean, I didn't really show this room in full detail. We have this long section where CatNap is just chasing us. You know, with the lights on, it looks kind of shit. But yeah, like this, it actually looks fairly nice. And with the flashlight, it obviously looks even better. It's really simple, but I think for what it is, it looks, you know, pretty cool. I think I've yapped enough for now. I think it's time to start working on the actual intro section. So I'm gonna get to work, and I will be right back with you. I spent some time refining the overall shaping and structure of the hallway. That honestly took a lot longer than it should have. However, during this time, I did come up with a new fun Easter egg I could add to make it a little more interesting. I have an idea. So we're obviously gonna get rid of this part right here, because the vent is gonna collapse. But what we can do is hopefully we're gonna put this one and then okay, perfect. And then behind this, we're gonna make a little test chamber. So remove all of this.
The next day.
I love how that looks. That looks super cool. Okay, so yeah, it's really simple, but I guess this is our new little callback to Portal 2 for 15 years of this amazing game. Anyway, moving on, because this hallway is still definitely not finished. I think we should definitely have some pipes running through the ceiling. Okay, nice. I like how this looks. Those pipes actually add a lot. How does it actually look in the dark? Oh, you don't even see them pipes, bro. So, I think that this for this section is pretty fine. If you guys want more in this starter section, definitely let me know. With the lights on, it definitely looks, yeah, really empty. But for what it is, I don't really know what else to add other than, like, maybe some obstacles. But at the top of my head, I can't really think of any obstacles that seem just not out of place. So let me know in the comments if you guys want stuff from that. I think for now, let's just do this vent section. Move all of this stuff, actually, over where it's, you know, gonna be. Okay, so I just got one of the best ideas I've gotten so far. So, basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the thing with this vent collapsing. We're gonna add a tiny little cutscene. And when we wake up, we're gonna be in like a hallucinated version of Chapter 2. Because obviously we see Huggy Wuggy in the dream sequence. Let's just say we just smashed the floor a little hard, and now we're like badly hallucinating again, and we're gonna be in like a dream sequence of Chapter 2. So Mommy Longlegs is gonna show up and chase us for a little bit. So I started by making the same plastic material I used in the Game Station remake, but made it scratched instead of bumpy this time. I really like how this looked, so I used the same arches, walls, and materials from the Game Station to make a little square room that we could fall into after the vent collapsed. To be honest, it was a nice breath of fresh air to work with these very simple and colorful assets after having to work with so many dull and realistic looking models, so I enjoyed this process rather well. And then I think here we should create the hallway that Mommy Longlegs chases you down, all the way at the end. This hallway right here. God, what is this resolution? They're pink and blue, right? Okay, so let's make another material instance. Perfect. So as you guys also can see, especially in this room, it's mostly, it's only blue, pink, and yellow. So we're gonna have to edit these tiles to also match that. Perfect. Hopefully it actually perfectly lines up with it. Look at that. That's kind of cool that it can just change it as quick as that. You gotta admit that that's cool. I was kind of worried that it would like mess with the resolutions, but it didn't even do that. Look at that. That looks wow, that looks great. I quickly made the floor for the hallway, and then I brought the arch I used into Blender to separate the blocks from the actual arch, so I could freely size those however I wanted, which was required for the supporting arches in the center of the hallway. Okay, so I quickly separated them in Blender, so I now have two separate, so we can make this taller, because as we can see here, these are really tall. Here it's actually, I didn't even notice, it swapped the colors. Hold up, let me fix this real quick.
5 minutes later.
That's basically perfect. I spent way too long putting this hallway together for how simple it really was, And I also didn't say anything in the process, so I'm just gonna let this play for a minute. If you want to skip to the result, here's the timestamp for you. Alright, I'm happy with this. Let's find a Mommy Longlegs model that's animated, shall we? Okay, so, while I was looking for a model for Mommy Longlegs, there was a bit too much explicit content, visible, so I can't show any of that, so, let's just skip to when I actually got the model in engine, okay? Alright, so we got Mommy. No, she's moving a little slow, that's okay. But if she just, yeah, okay, she does fit through here. Let's set the to, like, 3. I guess. I feel like that's too fast though for the player. Let's do 3. I think that's good. So we're gonna put her over here. So this is a fake one. Mommy will be waiting behind it. So quickly for reference for what we have right now. We'll be running over here, right? All this red smoke and stuff. Then we're gonna jump to this vent. And then it's gonna go down. So I'm gonna make a little cutscene. So we're gonna come through this vent, fall down. There's gonna be a cutscene that this door opens and Mommy Longlegs comes out. Camera's gonna turn around. This door opens, so we're gonna run. Oh, fuck, dude, you scared me again, you dumb bitch. So yeah, she's gonna come like so. So we're gonna run, get the hand scanner. Just gonna open the door and then come through. And then we're gonna fall back into reality. I quickly connected the power room to the Mommy Longlegs hallway and changed CatNap's nightmare model to his normal one to switch it up a little bit. I put CatNap behind the door that I want him to come out of, so you won't be able to see him in the chase, but I promise you, he's there. After that was done, here's the CatNap chase in its current state.